Like a bunch of nerds looking for Pokemon, the Inland Sports Team, we will never stop until we bring you the very best in local sports coverage. I'm Pep Fernandez. Welcome to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. We are so happy you're joining us today. We've got a big show. We've got the Chaparral football team in studio to talk about the upcoming season. We'll talk playoff divisions, of course, Southwestern League, and a couple of their big linemen getting lots of recruiting talk right now. So we're going to talk about that with the Pumas. We've got in our exclusive one-on-one interview with the head basketball coach at San Diego State, Steve Fisher. Coach Fish is going to talk about Kawhi Leonard, the Inland Empire, and all kinds of good stuff. You don't want to miss that. Very exclusive with head coach Steve Fisher. And the interns just returned from Pac-12 Media Day, and I'm so jealous. I was doing paperwork and all kinds of lame stuff behind the scenes for Inland Sports. But they're like rubbing shoulders with Christian McCaffrey, Jim Mora, taking pictures. So they're going to tell us about Pac-12 Media Day, and then Josh Cohen was actually at the Centennial versus Murrieta Valley Passing League. He's going to break that down for us as well. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website. Check out their travel ball teams and training programs. RE/MAX Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. 909-307-5665 is the number. And a shout out to RE/MAX Advantage. They were sponsoring the Stormtrooper beanies at the 66ers baseball game. I don't know if you guys are Star Wars nerds. I'm a Star Wars nerd. RE/MAX hooked it up. I got a Star Wars Trooper beanie. And Spoiled, quick quality oil change. We appreciate their support. Actually took in my car last Saturday on my way to the Paloma Valley Passing Tournament. And, of course, took like 5 minutes and got me back out on the road, down to the tournament in time to see a lot of great 7-on-7 action. All right, so once again, Pac-12 Media Day. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk 7-on-7. We have the exclusive interview with Steve Fisher from San Diego State coming up in segment 2. But right now, we turn our attention to the Chaparral Pumas as we continue our summer football series and kind of get you guys set for the upcoming high school football season. Coach McCullough, Southwestern League, I mean, we've said this, I sound like a broken record. It's, when you look at Southern California football, the Southwestern League ranks right up there, right? I mean, across the board, so many good teams, so many great players. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's second to none. The level of football, the depth of football, the coaching, the players, it's a juggernaut, no question about it.
But it's a good challenge, right? I mean, you don't want to go in there and be like, oh, this is easy, we don't have to prepare. I mean, every single Friday night, when you get in the Southwestern League play, you know it's going to be a brawl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we want to play the best, and we think, you know, our league prepares us for playoffs. I know it helps the other schools in our league. You know, we have great tradition in the Southwestern League of having deep playoff runs. Obviously, Vista Murrieta, Murrieta Valley, Chaparral, and, you know, Great Oak. The league helps when you get down the road because you're battle tested. I mean, you are playoff ready. So, you know, it's an outstanding league, and, you know, I'm proud to represent Chaparral and playing in that league.
You talked playoffs. We'll get to that in just a second as the CIO Southern section kind of shuffled their version of the playoff divisions. It's no longer school size or proximity or any of those things. We're going to talk about that in a second. Who did you bring today, Coach, onto the show?
Starting, obviously, closest to me, we brought Quentin Berry. He's our quarterback. He's a senior, really good player. We expect him to have a great year for us. And then we brought Michael Yo-Yo, Owen, I always screw up his last name.
Onye Mayobi? Yeah. Did I get it?
Onye Mayobi. And
I'll teach you how to say it.
He's a receiver DB, and, you know, he's obviously, heavily recruited. He's committed to Cal. And then we brought Justin Dietich, who's a center guard for us. He's a junior, and he's, you know, multiple offer guy.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
So.
And then Stephen Jones, we were trying to get him in here, but he's actually, where is he at today?
He's up doing his unofficial at University of Washington. They were the latest school to give him an offer, so he went up there to check it out, and he's having a great time. I talked to him this morning, so he's sorry he couldn't be here, but we understand. He's up there and enjoying the Washington sun. So.
We'll just go right to left here, guys. And Quentin, when you have guys like Stephen Jones and Justin here in studio with us, makes your job a little bit easier, right, when you're the quarterback of the football team. Do you feel like when your guys up front are doing their job, you've got time to do what you need to do as the quarterback, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Either, you know, with our run game or pass game. With pass game-wise, you know, I get more time to stand back there and look at the defensive coverages and basically assess what's going on. And then with our run game, it makes us that dual threat offense that you really don't know what's coming next, whether it's a run or a pass, and it's always a good thing with big guys like that.
Michael Onye-Mayobi, right? Did you hear that, Coach?
Yeah, I got it.
Or would you guys call him Yo-Yo?
Yeah, that's
Yo-Yo. I can go with Yo-Yo too. That's just fine.
Yeah.
So you're committed to Cal?
Yes, sir.
What was it about the Golden Bears? What did you like about that program or the coaches?
Everything. Well, they were my first offer initially. So after we took the trip, we kind of went there and felt it out. And then the education I'm going to get while I'm there and stuff like that. And then Coach Dykes and the entire program was just awesome. It was a perfect fit.
You got a lot of IE guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting. They got a lot of good Inland Empire guys that go up to Cal. And Justin, if you want to, you can just break the news right now and make your verbal commitment live on the air. So just go ahead.
It's a little early.
But off the top of your head, and I know you're surprised. I wasn't like a big Division I recruit coming out of high school, so I don't know how exactly it goes with all these offers coming at you. But off the top of your head, what are some of the schools that have already offered you right now?
UCLA, Colorado State, Fresno State, Reno, UNLV, Southern Utah.
Big time.
And he's only going to be a junior this fall. I mean, when you go home, is your dad like, hey, Justin, you got more mail, or, so-and-so, wants to talk to you? I mean, what is that like?
It's unbelievable. Like, I just never thought this would happen to me. It's an honor to get all these offers. It's a crazy experience because, like, I always watched Yo-Yo or Steve or all the graduates before me. They get all these offers, and I never thought that would happen to me. And it's crazy that it's actually here, and I get to live the experience and enjoy the college recruiting. But now I just got to stay on my game and keep up the good work.
And you still have 2 more years of high school football. I mean, that's the good part. So, Coach, when you have guys, who are getting these offers, and of course, a lot of attention from colleges, you kind of have to steer them like, hey, guys, we got to worry about the games. We got to win some football games too. I know all this college stuff. It'll happen. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. I know it's a big decision, but let's worry on getting better, getting the team better, and preparing for the season, which is now just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is our group this year is really selfless, and they're committed to chaparral football. They know that the individual accolades come through their own personal work. However, their priority is us getting wins on the field on Friday nights, and that's refreshing because, it's not always like that. Sometimes kids get caught up in the whirlwind of recruiting, and that's difficult. But our group is really committed, and, Justin, Michael, and, the other ones, Steve, Steve's only a junior also, so we're excited for him. We do a great job, I think. Marketing, Coach Raymer, and the offensive line have always put out offensive linemen to Division I think probably more than any other school in the Valley.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. But, at the end of the day, it's about chaparral football, and they know that. And, they're great kids, and they're excited about the season as we all are.
Yeah, you and Coach Raymer, you're growing them big at Chaparral. Is it like peanut butter and jellies like all day long? I mean, you were talking about some of your other offensive linemen. I mean, it sounds like you're going to have some good size up front leading the way for Quentin here.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that group. We returned 4 starters from last year, and 3 of them are only going to be juniors. We're excited about their size and strength, but most important thing is their experience. They've been together, they've worked together, and the offensive line is pivotal. They understand the scheme. They've been in it for a year and a half now. So, there's no excuses at this point. We went through our growing pains last year, and this year we expect them to, probably be the best part of our team.
Now, you said you were young last year, but obviously the experience, you got some experience. That was the positive coming off of last season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going in as a coach, you kind of look at your whole team and offense, defense, special teams, and where you're going to be strong and where you're going to be young and where you got to get some depth. But offensive line, we knew we would be, young, and of all positions on the field, that offensive line with all the inline stunts and blitzes and everything you see in our schedule, we knew it was going to be a challenge. The kids embraced it, and they worked hard. They never gave up, and, we're better for it. So we're excited.
Got the Chaparral football team here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Plus, we are live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. You can check out their pretty faces right now if you're watching us on the channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I really like your non-league schedule. This is a really good one. You open with Rancho Cucamonga, then Riverside Poly, Oceanside, Redlands, and finally Santiago to wrap up non-league play. I know you were waiting for that one.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, those are some really good teams. So I think by the time you get to Southwestern League, Coach, you're going to know what these guys are about, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, right out of the gate, week 0, we host Rancho Cucamonga in Coach Baez and those guys are just terrific up there. They have a tradition. They've got athletes. We're going to see where we're at real quick, week 0. And then, of course, Oceanside's tradition, and, Redlands has a great program. And, Riverside Poly's got a new coach, so we got to break them down and see what they're doing. Santiago, plays in the tough league. It's going to let us know where we're at. We got to survive it and grow from it. But we're excited. It's difficult to get teams to play Southwestern teams in non-league. People don't realize, you're in that league, and you got to prepare for it. And so we'll play them, and we're ready to go. And we're excited about Rancho Cucamonga coming in. It's going to be a great challenge.
Justin, for you and Steven and the rest of the offensive line, do you feel like if you guys can just, win the battle in the trenches, this team is going to be pretty successful this year? Like, it kind of, I want to say, it kind of starts with you guys up front. I mean, I'm not reinventing the wheel here, but what you guys do up front can really dictate, what the rest of the team does, right? I mean, do you feel like maybe, I don't want to say pressure on your shoulders, but you and Steven and the rest of the guys really want to get that job done up front?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we are kind of the leading group this year. Like, we're the group to look at. So, say our team's feeling down, we got to step up, be the leaders, and we got to do 10 times better than we were doing to get the ball 10 more yards. So.
How much do you eat a day? I'm just curious. As an offensive lineman, I hear these stories where I set my clock and I get up at 2 a.m. and I drink a protein shake and I eat a PB&J and I do this and that because you're trying to add mass, and obviously make it muscle, and stronger. But I mean, do you have a crazy diet?
No, just go to the buffet, follow a buffet, chow down all day.
So is there a guilty pleasure, if Coach Mack over here just gives you a really hard practice, you're like, man, I'm exhausted, I am starving, I'm just gonna go splurge and just go hog wild?
I'll go drive the Wings and Things, buy myself a family pack, chow down.
Wait, you eat for a whole family?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
We got the Chaparral Pumas here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Michael, when you look at the Southwestern League, obviously there's a lot of good teams. We've been talking about that. But what do you think Chaparral needs to do this season to be competitive, to maybe win league and obviously finish high enough so you will be considered for a playoff, one of the playoff divisions?
I think this year definitely just comes down to us working as a team, because that's been an issue that we've had a little bit in the past couple of years. So as we come down, and because it's a tough league, we play Miss Murrieta this year, Great Oak, of course, Murrieta Valley again, every single year. So I think it's just going to be about us. What are we willing to do? Compete and see what we're going to do to come on top. So.
And you're turning back the clock a little bit. You got your JV Southwestern League champs from 2014 shirt on. You proud of that? JV title, right?
That was the first year that we beat Miss Murrieta. Quentin and I, actually.
I mean, not very many people can say that, right? That they beat Vista Murrieta. Is that true?
That's very true.
So, do you guys? I'll go to Quentin here. Do you guys consider that you know what? We did it before. Obviously, we were a little bit younger. I mean, why not? Why not us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a confidence level, and you see the same kids 4 years in a row. You know what they're coming at you with. Obviously, they have new kids, freshmen or sophomore, that come out of nowhere, like these, Justin and Steve, guys like that. But, there's always that confidence level and that kind of, that swagger to, we did it once, but we just got to do the same thing, go in there with the mentality, just go play football, have fun, and I think we'll come out on top.
All right, guys, let's wrap up with the playoff divisions. Division 4, Carter, Cajon, Murrieta Mesa, some of the other Inland Empire schools in Division 4. Coach, we were kind of talking off the air. The CIF Southern section reshuffled the playoff divisions, and it sounds like it's a good thing, right? It's going to be competitive. If you can get to the playoffs, you're going to see other teams that, I guess it would be wide open, right? Like a lot of other teams that are on your level that anyone could really win CIF. You just got to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I loved what CIF did this year. It's a fluid situation, so year to year they're going to reassess and move up and down. However, it gives you the opportunity, to build your program. One of the, Tommy Leach was here and we were talking about it. The way it used to be, he would go and he stuck in the Pac-5 with Centennial. That's really difficult to do. You could have your best team and be a first-round out in that division, where now he has an opportunity to have success with those kids postseason and build his program up. Ultimately, we all want to get to that Division I. Mm-hmm. That's our goal. But, it's fun to see the kids playing. Kids, we play with neighborhood kids, and we're excited about it. And I think because it's fluid, CIF really did a good job of getting parity and keeping everything, together. So not every system's going to be perfect, but I'm excited to see how this format goes.
And you were saying it kind of, the schedule's set, and you might have some home and homes from the games next year are set too, but how you schedule games now, right? Because now the playoff divisions look a little bit different. Schools that you weren't planning to see, now you could possibly see.
Yeah, if you play a team that's in your playoff division, it's huge. To get a playoff nod, you have a win over a rival playoff division team. But like we open up with Rancho Cucamonga, they're Division I. That's a great challenge for us, and we want to win that game. If you lose that game, you know what? We get points for playing a Division I team.
So it's not the worst thing in the world to lose to a really good team.
No, it's win-win almost. So we kind of feel like, hey, we got nothing to lose. Obviously, we want to win every game, but who you play comes into that formula, and it's important to schedule a tough non-league and then see where you're at in league and playoffs.
Did you guarantee Justin lunch on the way home to come on the show today, or no?
Well, they were all talking about, hey, can we stop somewhere, eat on the way home, and all that.
Do you have to pay for him? I mean, that's a lot of food right there. He eats for a family member.
No, I got to check my air pressure.
You bring your own lunch?
I feel bad.
You feel bad?
They have to pay for me.
Yeah, Coach is going to get poor if he's feeding his offensive line, Justin. I'm sure Steven can back it away, too, and the rest of the Yo guys.
Oh, yeah, those guys, they're not shy about meals, no question about it.
They make yo-yo sandwiches in the locker room. Remember?
Sandwiches in the locker room,
They
Michael?
make yo-yo sandwiches. Steve and Justin give me a hug, and then they squish me in the middle.
That's a big hug.
Yeah.
Well, guys, best of luck this season. We appreciate you joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, and get some wins, and we'll bring you back. Sound good?
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, the Chaparral Pumas here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. When we come back, our exclusive interview with the head basketball coach at San Diego State, the great Steve Fisher. That's next on the Inland Sports Show.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Plus, we are live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Let's go right now to the spoiled quick quality oil change celebrity hotline, and this is a real treat. He is a basketball coaching legend, and he's well known around the Inland Empire, that is for sure. We're talking about San Diego State head men's basketball coach, the great Steve Fisher. And Coach, I'm sure you have 1,000,001 things to do, but we appreciate you taking a couple minutes to talk to us here on the Inland Sports Show.
That is my pleasure, Pep. I appreciate the fact that you would want me on. We've got a lot of Aztecs that are in the Inland Empire, and a lot of former players that have come out of there that have helped us remain here for 18 years now. So a great fondness for your area.
Well, Coach, you just touched on it. There's so many things I want to ask you, but first off, let me ask you, you've been able to turn San Diego State into a basketball school, and you've enjoyed success year after year with the Aztecs. What do you credit to the longevity of that success that you've built there at San Diego State?
It's all about the people, Pep. You know that. If you surround yourself with good people, we've got staff, starting with Brian Dutcher, who's been with me since 1988, to all the players. And if you get good people that all share a common goal and play for the team and care about the team, you have an opportunity. And we've been very fortunate to work with a lot of great people, and we're proud of what we've done, and we're determined to continue to grow and get better.
We're talking with San Diego State head men's basketball coach Steve Fisher here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Coach, you mentioned it. You've had several players with Inland Empire roots that have helped shape your program. Guys, of course, like Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Slaughter, Jamal Franklin, to name a few. Can you speak just in general about the talent at the high school level that we have here in the Inland Empire? And you've been able to find some great guys in this area.
There are some terrifically talented players from your area. You touched on a few. You could throw in J.J. O'Brien, Jamal Franklin, Matt Thomas, and we've had success coming in and recruiting our share of them. We haven't gotten all of them, but those that we have gotten have turned out to be really good players and terrific young men. And I think that's a byproduct of A, family, B, the people who care that have nurtured them, helped them grow from their AAU ball to their high school circuit. It takes a whole group to continue to turn them into men. You've got a lot of great people over there, and we're proud to have been involved and want to continue to be involved. We're smart enough to know that there are a lot of players over there. And again, I also think, Pep, that you will have the ability to sustain where you are, and you also maintain relationships when you're true to who you are. So we don't make grandiose promises that we can't keep, but we tell all of them and their families that we'll treat you like family. And minutes are not guaranteed, but we will treat you like blood while you're here. And those that have left have felt that way. Some have played more than others, some have gone on, but all of them have felt as if they were treated the way they would hope that they would be treated. So that's what we've tried to do. It's allowed us to continue to get that next good player from your area and continue to grow who we are.
Now, Coach, I think it's safe to say Kawhi Leonard is now one of the biggest stars in the NBA, certainly the face of the Spurs now that Tim Duncan has retired. Could you tell back at San Diego State that he had that star power? I know he carries himself low-key, kind of a quiet guy, just goes about his work. But could you tell back then that there was something special about Kawhi Leonard?
Absolutely. You start with his athleticism, but there are a lot of guys that are athletic. What Kawhi had, and I shouldn't say has, that very few have, is a burning desire to get better, a demand of himself to work on his game, and to continue to grow who he is. A lot of people talk a good game. Kawhi is in that gym. He doesn't want people around watching. He doesn't talk about it, but it shows in the progress that he's made. And when he came with us, you knew that he was something special. So my feeling was he's going to be a pro. I don't think anyone felt that he could have become this good, this fast. But knowing the work ethic, knowing the family, knowing his mom and grandmother, and you know you're getting quality when you talk about Kawhi Leonard. And he has now, as you said, become one of the premier players in the world. He is and will be the face of the Spurs franchise for a long time, and he'll also always be a San Diego State Aztec. So we're very proud of Kawhi.
Coach, we should mention the next Steve Fisher Individual Skills Basketball Camp coming up August 1st through the 4th. That's for boys ages 10 to 18. And we'll be sure to put the link up on the Inland Sports website so you can register there for the camp. And there's more information, of course, at goaztecs.com. Coach, what are some of the things you guys work on at these camps?
I appreciate, Pep, you kind of giving us a little plug on the camp. We've been running it now this is our 18th year, and it's a skill camp. We compete like crazy. You can be as young as 9 or 10 and as old as upcoming senior in high school. We break you in divisions, and we do fundamental work. We tell them on day one, you're an Aztec for 4 days, for 5 days. And we want you to wear that mantle with pride. And some of the things we're going to show you, we do with our players every single day. So it's a teaching instructional camp. And yet, we'll play by everything from 5-on-5 to 1-on-1. And when you're competing, we want you to compete to win. But it's more about helping you get a fundamental framework for skills that if you perfect these skills, it will help you have a chance to grow your own game. And then we also spend a lot of time talking about what it means to be a good teammate, what it means to be a good person. I talk to them every day, and we've got all our coaches involved. We have some of our players that are involved in coaching and teaching the camp. So we're very proud of what we've done, and we get a lot of repeat business, a lot of repeat campers. So it makes us feel as if we're doing a lot of things that moms and dads also like.
And who knows, Coach, you might have the next Kawhi Leonard at one of your San Diego State camps, right?
We have had players that we've added to the recruiting base as we've gotten them in here. So yeah, that's not why you come to this camp, but it's a byproduct to where we'll get a young guy and say we're going to follow his progress, and we've done that.
Hey, Coach, finally, I've got to be honest. I'm for better or for worse, I'm friends with Tim Hatch and Jeff Gorham, and they're local coaches here in the Inland Empire, and I know they work your camps. I just wanted to get your honest opinion. Are they good coaches?
Well, I'll lie and say they are. You know both Hatch and Gorman. They care. They're terrific with young people, and they are great teachers. And I've got friends in a lot of places, but I don't invite all of them to come and work camp. But you don't perform, you don't get invited back. And Hatch and Gorman have been working with us for a long time, and we want to continue to keep bringing them back. They're quality. They're good. So you're hanging with the right people, Pep. So stay in touch with those guys too.
I'm going to take your advice on that, Coach. I really appreciate it. Once again, we'll put a link on our Inland Sports website to register for the camp, and there's more information at goaztecs.com. The great Steve Fisher, Coach. I cannot tell you how appreciative we are for you taking a couple minutes to talk to us here on the show.
My pleasure. Don't be a stranger. Come down and see us this next season.
Yes, sir. I was a fan of the Fab Five. He coached Michigan when they had Chris Webber and Jalen Rose, Jawan Howard, Jimmy King, Ray Jackson. I mean, that was my team. I had the black socks. I was pegging my pants, so that was a bad look. But I had the black socks and the black high tops and all that stuff and the baggy shorts. So to interview Steve Fisher was just absolutely amazing. I never get nervous for interviews. I was a little bit nervous. Gorham, you see him all the time. Are you guys just buddy-buddy? I mean, or do you get a little nervous around Steve Fisher too?
You know, I get nervous to a point, but then I realize, you know, I've been around the guy for 14, 15 years. 2 weeks every year I get to spend every day with the guy. So you kind of get used to him, but still, I mean, if he gets angry at you or you do something wrong,
He's never yelled at you.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you?
He's yelled at me. He hasn't yelled at me as much as he does Hatch. But he does. He has yelled at me at times. He's very particular at what he wants and very organized man. I mean, that's why he's been so successful. But a great ambassador to youth basketball and college basketball as well. Just a good guy.
Well, you hooked up that interview for us, and I can't thank you enough because that was like a dream come true for me to talk to Steve Fisher. That was amazing.
Well, that's cool.
And he called me by name. Like he was like thanking me, like getting him on the show, and I'm like, what? This is not right. Like, he shouldn't be thanking me. This is crazy.
Well, he invited you to go down this year, so maybe we can go down to a game and get some film and interview him down there in person. That'd be great.
I want to say, I think we just became best friends. Me and Steve Fisher. I think this is exactly what just happened over the weekend.
I felt a kinship, a bond between you two.
Well, I was a little bit nervous for Steve Fisher, but now I want to ask Cameron and Aaron. Oh, they got a mic. Come on, Jeff. You need your own mic. Come on. I want to ask them, they were at Pac-12 Media days. There's 2 days. They couldn't just squish it into one like I used to go to. Was there someone you guys came across, met, saw from a distance that you were like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. Come on, kids. You can be on. Nobody's listening.
When I saw Christian McCaffrey, I was just like, wow, like he just broke the all-purpose yard record last year, like.
For Stanford,
and
right?
And he said like, I understand that he's in college and I'm in college, but he just said, I just turned 20. Someone asked him a question. It was like, wow, like this kid is the same age as me, but I am somewhat starstruck.
And how about you, Aaron?
I mean, I'm kind of going with the same thing. I just remember him sitting there when he said he was like, yeah, I just turned 20, and I was like, I just turned 20, and then you're just like comparing that. I mean, you and him are in the same room and going after, around the same thing, going for your same goals, and it was just kind of like, wow, like you're going for it, and yeah, it was incredible.
You have to self-examine your own life. Like, what am I doing with
my
life?
Exactly what I was doing. I was like, I'm interviewing you.
But did you guys have fun? I mean, obviously, it was all the Pac-12 head coaches, select players, really the best players from each of the teams in Hollywood. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So you're walking around and just Jim Mora, I mean, Coach Helton from USC. Everyone's just around, right?
I mean, yeah, pretty much because at the end there's lunch, and so you're walking around, and I remember the first day I went out, and all of a sudden you just see players walking by, and I'm like, you kind of stop and you like follow them, and you're like, oh yeah, that was them, and everyone's just kind of hanging out, and I really liked. I mean, it was more casual than you thought it would be. So, and then one of the stories that I got with Devontae Wilson, who was just like a comeback kid, was at USC.
High School and RCC, yeah.
So it was like he was in the IE, then he went to USC, got injured, had to go back to RCC, and then worked his way back up to go to Cal. So it was really cool to hear, from him and get an interview with him.
That's awesome. I think he was the only player in our coverage area, at least, that was at Media Day. That's really from the IE, Devontae Wilson. But obviously USC was there, UCLA. I think they picked Stanford, right, to win the Pac-12, and they announced it there. Was that a lot of the buzz that Stanford was the preseason pick?
Yeah, it definitely was. And then, I mean, like, some coaches were even, like, talking a little bit of trash and being like, well, you guys have been wrong before, and so it was just funny to see them do that.
And what was it, UCLA in the South, right? UCLA was
the pick. UCLA to win the South, yeah. And they told the players, and the players were like, it doesn't really mean too much, and this, that, but, it means something.
It's a little bit, right?
I mean, bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, live up to it.
Let's go right now, because we're gonna continue this football conversation in just a moment. Right now, we're gonna go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline, and he's our dear friend from the Little League West Regional. It's our good friend Brian Pickering, because the softball regional's coming up, Brian, and then the baseball, like right on top of each other. It's a big time in San Bernardino. So welcome to the show, Brian. And the softball gets underway, next week, right?
Yes, sir, and thank you for having us. The softball tournament, which is the 6th Little League Western Region Softball Tournament, will take place in San Bernardino from July 22nd through the 29th at beautiful Al Houghton Stadium at 6707 Little League Drive in San Bernardino.
And Brian, these are some of the softball teams, and we'll get to the baseball in a second too, but someone's going to go to the World Series. So if you want to go out to San Bernardino and check out some really high-level softball games, one of these teams will go on to play for a World Series championship.
Yes, sir. In fact, we're going to have 12 state champions. They're ages 10, 11, and 12. They'll be competing for a berth in the Softball World Series in Little League in Portland, Oregon. And so, again, this is the 6th year we've hosted this tournament here this year. And it is growing, and we invite all fans to come on out. All the games are free. You can't beat that price, and we have the only thing that costs out here is concessions and souvenirs, but everything else is free.
It's a great experience, beautiful stadiums out there. And Brian, the baseball is right after it, and I follow you guys on Facebook, and I love the announcements, because every single day I'm seeing former Major League Baseball players coming out to do the ceremonial first pitch and meet and greet with some of the fans. How do you get all these guys to come out there?
Well, it's I used to work part time with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I've gotten to know some individuals over the years, and they've been more than gracious to come out. But if I can back up just a second, for the softball tournament, we have Nancy B. Heffley, who was a longtime organist with the Los Angeles Dodgers. She just retired last year. She's actually going to throw out the first pitch at the softball tournament on Monday, July 25th at 8 o'clock, and that game will feature Arizona and Wyoming. And then in the championship game on Friday, July 29th at 6 p.m., Megan Cavanaugh, who portrayed Marla Hooch in the movie A League of Their Own, will be out here throwing out the first pitch, and both these individuals will be signing autographs following the games. Following the first pitches. Now, in baseball, as of now, we have Chad Zerbe, who's a local resident. He lives in Highland. He pitched for the San Francisco Giants in the 2002 World Series and won Game 5 against the Angels. He will be out here on August 11th at 6 p.m. We have Calvin Pickering, no relation, but he played for the Baltimore Orioles. He lives in Riverside. He'll be out here on Wednesday, August 10th at 7 p.m. We also have Kevin Groves, who once pitched a no-hitter against the Giants when he was playing for the Dodgers. He will be out here on Monday, August 8th at 7 p.m. As of yesterday, Fernando Valenzuela, who is a dear friend to our tournament. This is the 5th year in a row he's been out here. He just loves to come out and support the kids. He will be out here on Thursday, August 11th at 10 a.m. And last but not least, another dear friend of ours is Mike Sweeney, who grew up in Ontario, a 5-time All-Star with the Kansas City Royals, and he'll be out here on Friday, August 12th at 6 p.m. So we have a lot of former major leaguers that are coming out, are going to sign autographs. The baseball tournament is televised by the family network of ESPN. And again, all those games are free as well. So we invite fans to come on out, and the baseball tournament will be held August 7th through the 13th.
So Brian, all that stuff you just said, where can I get this information? If people are listening right now, is there a website or a Facebook page that people can go and maybe find the schedules or more information on these games?
Yes, sir. They can go to facebook.com/WestLL, as in Little League. Again, that's facebook.com/WestLL. And I'm constantly posting things prior to the tournament and every day during the tournament as well.
Well, Brian, we're really excited about this. We're going to have a video camera out there getting some of the sights and the sounds of not only the softball, but the baseball West Regional and the Northwest Regional for that matter. But we really appreciate the time, and we'll see you out there at the ballpark soon.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you out here.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
All right. That's Brian Pickering from the baseball West Regional out there in San Bernardino. If you haven't been out there, it's an awesome little stadium, and that place gets packed. I mean, people get excited about Little League Baseball. They really do. And, you know, you can watch the Little League World Series on TV, but the regionals, just as packed. I mean, people get into it, they're screaming, they're yelling, the place is full. Jeff, are you a Little League guy? Did you play Little League?
I did play Little League. In fact, Zink and I played in the same Little League growing up.
You did?
He's a little older than I am, but yeah, we played in the same Little League. But no, the West region is really cool. You go out there, you drive up there by Devore, and it's, you notice every car will be painted with the team name. It's
Wyoming or bust.
Exactly, exactly. But it's really fun. I remember my father took me up there, my brother and I, when we were kids, and watched a couple games. And like I said, it was packed, and kids are playing. I mean, they're playing as hard as they can, and it's a great tradition to go follow, and it'd be nice to have everybody support that.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing, and we'll be out there, like I said, with a video camera, getting some interviews and video and that.
Fernando Valenzuela, though.
That's big time.
That's huge. That's Fernando Mania. I might have to go check that out.
I interviewed him once. It was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
But I kind of ambushed him. He wasn't ready for the interview, and I just kind of ambushed him. Kind of like Aaron style on Jim Mora. We'll talk about that in a second. When we come back, more from Pac-12 Media Day, and also Josh Cohen's analysis of Centennial and Murrieta Valley football. It's going to be awesome. We'll come back on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We're live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Go on YouTube, find us, hit that subscribe button. Plus, live here on Fox Sports, 1350, we've had Chaparral football. We've had the great Steve Fisher. We've talking Little League. More from Pac-12 Media Day for football. And, guys, I got to ask you, because Aaron and Cam were there. Drew was there on Thursday as well, but Drew's on vacation somewhere. But, so I tried to describe to you guys what the situation would be like before you got there, because it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a meat market, and they have scheduled interviews, and they're pushing the players and coaches from interview to interview, and you really have to ambush them in between interviews to ask them what you want to ask, like specific questions maybe that have some kind of connection back to the Inland Empire. So how did that go? Did it go okay?
Yeah, it went great after some debating about it, but I saw Jim Mora, and he was going from one to another, and I was like, hey, Coach, can I ask you a quick question? And he goes, well, you're going to have to talk to my boss. And I turn around, and it's somebody from the Pac-12, and she's like, he's on a busy schedule, you know, and I was like, I have one question, and then she's like, I don't know. And so he goes to his next interview, and she comes over, and she's just kind of, like, explaining herself, like, apologizing, and I was like, literally, I need 30 seconds with him, like, please. And then she's just like, that's what you guys always say. Like, you say you just do that, and then you're there for 5 minutes. And I was like, I give you permission to pull him out of the shot after 30 seconds if you want. And so she's like, she stops for a second, and then she goes, all right, hold on, let me see what I can do. And then after that, she brought him up, and then the video is literally 30 seconds long, and so then he was like, that's it? And I was like, we just needed one comment, I told you. But it was awesome.
We stick to our word, right?
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
you did it. You were a bulldog. You stayed with it.
It's really uncomfortable. You're like, it's just like, because you kind of have to go out of your way and kind of push a little bit, and so you're just like, and then you just kind of do it, and then it works out luckily.
Well, I sent you guys all an email, and I tried to make it very clear. Don't come back until you've talked to Jim Mora and about Cal State San Bernardino and training camp and whatnot. So you guys did it. So congratulations.
You guys are back.
Proud of you guys. Now, I haven't seen the video yet.
No video?
No, they have the video. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm congratulating you without having seen it
quality
yet.
video.
It's quality? Okay, Cameron just put his stamp
It's
of approval on
perfect.
it. Any other big takeaway? I know you guys, they fed you pretty well.
It was great.
Right? I mean, it was fun. You got free stuff.
Yeah. It was they had a lot of activities going down. They had fun giveaways, swag bags.
Sure.
So it was really cool. And then they had activities down there. They had them. So they would go to one interview, and then while they were doing that, they would kind of hang out and do different things. So there was like a cartoonist would draw them, and then so like they were posting.
The players and the coaches?
The players and the coaches. And so they would post those up. And then, like, the water bottle toss where you, like, try to flip it and land it?
Yeah,
They had
haters
a
are going to say
competition.
it's fake, yeah.
Yeah, haters are going to say it's fake. But it was real out there. And UCLA was actually doing really well at it.
They were
so.
Jim Moore tore it up.
Yeah, Jim Moore was killing it.
Do they have nothing better to do? Like,
I feel like they're just kind of waiting for their next interview,
Downtime.
so.
Did you get video of that?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did, of course I
That
did.
might go viral. I'm
I
going to
know.
hurry and get that on the
Toss
Sports
some bottles.
channel. Yeah, I mean, I'll, hashtag it, haters going to say it's fake, and I bet you it'll blow
Please
up.
do.
Jim Moore throwing water bottles.
I'll be the first retweet on that one.
So are we good? Are we good on Pac-12 Media
Yeah.
Day?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a
Covered
great
it all?
experience.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys went. I really appreciate it. You guys did a great job. Can't wait to
you.
see the video. We'll get that up on the Inland Sports channel in the next day or two. Maybe kind of stagger it.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much of a good thing all at once. It's a bad thing. Can't all be like Justin Diedick from Chaparral and just eat family-size wings or whatever he did. So, and then also, it's a big time for football. It's 7-on-7 season, and I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just 7-on-7, and it's not real football, this and that, but we get excited about it. It's competition. It's fun to watch. And Josh Cohen went down to Centennial High School, the evil empire, and he saw the Huskies taking on Murrieta Valley. Murrieta Valley, Josh, from what I hear, they're supposed to be really good. What did you think?
Honestly, like just from seeing them, I've watched them the last few years, and even this year in passing league, I think they're going to be a legitimate contender in the Southwestern League. It's all starting with their quarterback, Hank Bachmeyer. He's a sophomore. He's only going to be 16 years old going into next fall. He's just got offered by Colorado last month, so that's pretty good to hear. And then just some personal notes. He's got a big frame. He takes care of the football. He's not afraid to make the deep throw, but then again, he's not afraid to hit his checkdowns and just take the easy yardage that's there. And the receivers, Marcus Spiker and Maurice Bell, they accumulated for over 52% of his yardage last year, so they're a big staple in that offense. And one of the biggest things I noticed is that they weren't afraid to challenge defenses vertically, so they were getting into the end zone. These receivers are big targets in the end zone, and they're long and lanky. And one stat I looked up is they combined for over 2,500 yards and 150 catches last season.
I was thinking about this, Josh. I can't think of a better receiving duo than Bell and Spiker at Murrieta Valley. And, of course, Bachmeyer is a stud at quarterback.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I think they're going to have a really good year. You know, is this the year that somebody knocks off Vista Murrieta? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think they're going to be really good. And what do you think about Centennial? Obviously, for Murrieta Valley to go up against Centennial, that's just, good competition.
Yeah.
They're Centennial.
Exactly. I mean, usually, like, when there's a top prospect, you can usually tell who it is at a passing league, but Centennial was so good. Like, when I even texted you, I was like, I don't know who he is. Like, they're all legit. And then, so I looked him up. I got a kind of a little visual of his face.
Tyshawn Lindsay,
and then,
we're talking
then
about,
he
yeah.
definitely stood out. I mean, he's a good inside receiver, plays in the slot. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Tavon Austin.
Uh-huh.
And I just call it, like, the Reggie Bush, like, / Christian McCaffrey rule. When you give him, like, 5 to 10 yards of open space, he's going to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
And,
Just put the ball in their hands, and then he'll do the rest.
Yeah, exactly. I looked him up. He has over 23 offers, notably by Alabama, Ohio State, USC, Auburn, just to name a few.
Pretty okay schools.
Yeah, I guess
for
so.
football. I mean,
he'll be all right. Yes.
Any other big takeaway from Centennial or Murrieta Valley?
I mean, honestly, I think the best part was that it was competitive. I mean, they were going back and forth. I want to say they were going 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So, I mean, even from the 4 teams that were there, Damien was good. At one point, Centennial was playing Damien, and I think they scored 6 times in 10 plays, going from the 30 on. I mean, it was just fun football to watch. I watched from the sideline, went up to the stands for a little bit, so just a good all-around night to be at Centennial.
Yeah, Centennial pops you for the big play. I've said this before. Like, they'll hand the ball off, get 3 or 4 yards, short little pass, to the slot receiver for 4 or 5 yards, and then boom, 60 yards. And like, I don't know if they lull you to sleep. I don't know what it is, but they always have big plays for touchdowns. So they're going to be fine this year, and I think Murrieta Valley is going to be just as good.
Yeah.
Quick reminder that Sports Weekly is back on IEMG TV. You can check out our exclusive interview with the new head football coach at San Bernardino Valley College, Jason Vandiver. In fact, we broke the news.
I saw that.
The next day it was in the Press Enterprise and the Sun, but we broke the news. The exclusive first interview, you can check it out. You can go to our website, inlandsports.wordpress.com. We have a link to the interview on IEMG, so you can check that out as well. Mason, you're hanging out in the shadows, and I know you've got a British Open update. And I'm trying to teach him a lesson here. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do, but I've tasked Mason with giving us a Ricky Fowler update from Royal Troon, the British Open. Ricky Fowler, the pride of Murrieta Valley High School. I said, Mason, the people need a Ricky Fowler update from across the pond. So, Mason, what do you have to report for us?
Ricky Fowler from Murrieta Valley High School alum shot a 76 today, 5 over, 4 over overall for the tournament. So he kind of fell off today from a 2 under to, from a even to a 5 over, 4 over.
Are you a golf guy, Mason? Do you watch golf?
Of course. My dad watches golf. I have to watch it. I'm in the living room. He's watching it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this, but I got to watch it,
But the British Open traditionally has not good weather, and I suspect that's what's going on, too, because it looks like all the scores, right?
All the scores are going down,
Phil Mickelson's went up a little bit, too.
He went up 1 today, a little less than a couple days. Thursday, Friday, the weather was perfect. They were blitzing the course, but yesterday afternoon, the wind started to pick up, and just like the British Open, usually the wind is usually the biggest factor, and that's probably what hit today and why so many scores have dropped.
You're a golf expert. Did you know that?
No.
You just dropped some knowledge right now on the links.
I thought he was going to say, we had a deep cut in the rough.
Yeah,
that kind of. He came at it pretty good.
Sliced a little bit. The ball wasn't biting on the green.
The elements in Europe, yeah.
I've been there, done that.
So Ricky Fowler's done for the day. Third round in the books, in the clubhouse. He's done. Okay,
5 over, 4 over overall.
Man, so I don't know. It looks like he's not going to be in contention on the last day. But
12 under is in the lead, so he's got to make a.
That's going to be a historic if he comes back. I don't know a lot about golf, but that would be
very big.
See, that wasn't bad, right, Mason?
No, it wasn't.
Doing an update.
It's sad to do an update about a guy who's just struggling. It's like, I don't want to.
Hey, but he's one of the guys representing the U.S. though, isn't he?
He is.
He's actually going.
No, Ricky Fowler.
Yes.
Right. He did say. Who was it? Spieth?
Jordan Spieth dropped out.
Yeah, Spieth dropped out.
I think Fowler might be the only guy in the Olympic.
Ricky Fowler probably went because everyone's out, so he's like, "This is my chance to win a gold medal."
I'm going to
win a gold.
Give him gold, and if no one else competes, he'll get the silver.
Rory McIlroy's out.
Yeah, Rory's out. Jordan's out. Jason Day's out. They're all out.
He's going to have all 3 medals because no one's going to compete because of the Zika.
Yeah.
Because of the Zika.
It's exactly because of the Zika.
Those golfers don't want to come back with tiny heads.
No.
Can you blame them? Heads? No, I wouldn't go either.
Mason, great job. I love the golf update. Right now, if you go to the Inland Sports YouTube channel, we have some video of the Synchro America Open at RCC. It's synchronized swimming. We've got Olympians in the pool preparing for the 2016 Summer Olympics. And I put it on there. It's actually getting a lot of views because I think people around the world like synchronized swimming.
Did you go and film it yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Why didn't you call me? I would love to
It's
see
tonight, too.
synchronized.
It's Team USA.
Oh,
if you love the red, white, and blue, and you're a patriotic guy, you better go out there and support.
I just love synchronized swimming. I like how they wax their hair back.
It's crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
And they're kind of cute. So, I wouldn't mind going to watch. Thanks, Pep, for the invite.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
No,
trust
it's
me.
not.
It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. We appreciate their support. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website. Remax Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. 909-307-5665 is the phone number. Real estate, escrow, loans, they can hook it up. RemaxAdvantage.me. And, of course, our dear friends at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. We love Bill Navigato and his team. They are the very best. And they are a staple of the IE. People think of oil change in the IE, they automatically think of Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. No Zink today.
Well,
I just noticed right now. I mean, we're at the end of the show. I was like, oh, Zink didn't show up.
You know, he was playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, is that where you?
He's, you know, this week we had National Hot Dog Day. I don't know if you knew that. So I think Zink is eating hot dogs and walking
or recovering from last week.
And walking the grounds at Fairmont Park looking for Pokemon. Old Pikachu himself.
Jeff, we appreciate the time. Steve Fisher was great. The Chaparral Pumas. Brian Pickery from the Little League West Regional. And we will see you next Saturday on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.